We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Andrew Meyer, Miami Dolphins center, who made the 53-man roster. This might be a surprise for some as a UDFA rookie, but once you turn on the film, I think it's easy to see why he made this team. Number 60 center, every rep here. He has the ideal skill set, athletically, for this system, and all the plays shown will really exemplify his movement skills. And it's very, very difficult to find centers with this athletic skill set, and just be this perfect fit. He fits like a glove within the scheme. And I don't think they wanted to risk that athletic profile to the waivers. So they decided to give him that initial spot in the 53. They might maneuver things around eventually with how it plays out. But I think, they really wanted to keep him on the roster. They want to develop him because he has exactly what they're looking for. And they think they can work out the rest of they can iron out the rest of the kinks. I think he still needs to work on some play strength and anchoring. But he's already shown some improvement there from college. And then I think it's also nice to just have an actual center on the roster as a backup after Brewer, because we really usually would just have guards playing center. And I don't think Meyer will see be the first backup, but they're going to want to get him some development on the team. And then maybe he'll become a later depth option down the line. But I really enjoyed what I've seen from Meyer on this film, whether it's the screen game where you get to see the movement skills out in space, pass protection, you get to see the recovery ability, footwork, and then the running game where he can cut people off, climb to the second level. Very, very important traits to have within this system. It's why the Dolphins went out and signed Brewer, because he's the best center at that stuff in the league, with his ability to move out in space. Meyer really showed a lot of that at UTEP. He tested super well. Here you get to see the explosiveness. Look at him cut off 53. Great angle on this screen. Get out there. Get your head across him. And now once you get your head across this guy, bring your hips too. Good hands, good feet. I feel he did a good job sustaining blocks when he got those hands inside the chest. And he carries this block for quite a while. He ends up on the ground, which you don't want to see, but he carried his block for so long that I'll definitely take this. This is a very, very good rep. Love seeing the movement skills. It's definitely the stuff that gets you excited for his fit in the system. Really, really nice. Here's another good rep in the running game, which is impressive here because he's lined up head up on a nose, but this nose slants hard to the inside. If he was supposed to combo and climb to this linebacker, but that D tackle basically did exactly what he wanted to, so 62 could cut him off. He used that drag hand, but he didn't even touch him when it happened. So he just got out, basically went uncovered, and look how easily, with that explosiveness, he cuts off this linebacker. He's waiting for him to come to go to him at this point, and Jalen Wright has so much room on this toss play. This is exactly what you're looking for within the system at center, and it's very important that's why sometimes the guards in the system aren't as important athletically. You want them to be athletic, but they don't need to be super athletic, especially the right guard. But the center is that's why Connor Williams was so good, because of the athleticism. That's why they went and got Brewer. That's why Meyer, who's a true center, they want in this system. He goes out there, blocks him with ease, good hand placement, and I love the little boom. You can see some shock in his hands there. He's not the most powerful guy, but look at the power that he can show on this linebacker with that pop, throwing him at the end there. You can see a nice adjustment there. And then in pass protection, I think overall pass protection could use some work at times, especially play strength. But look at the recovery ability. He gets slightly out of position. He's first step sliding to the right. The guy crosses his face. Look at that left hand he uses as a stopping power type thing to slow him down, and then reset the hands, bring his hips and feet across with him, and then get back in position to slow this guy down. Give Skylar a clean pocket, because sometimes when this happens to the center, you'll see them boom, whiff, and then they'll dip underneath like that. Meyer is able to really stop that very effectively. The recovery ability was very, very impressive. For the most part, I do think the pass protection overall does need some work, but there's the flashes of doing stuff like this, finding the twist and stunts, getting aggressive. This is a very important part of the Dolphins system, is being very aggressive in pass protection, getting hands on quickly to slow things down. They also do a lot of play action, so this will definitely help versus the pass rush. But here, get control of this guy, pass him off to your left guard. Once now identify the guy looping, good eyes, get back across, get in the face, give your quarterback some time to deliver the ball down the field. And then just continuously making plays, climbing to the second level. Here we get to see it's not as clean as the other one, but he gets a little bit of help on this guy right here. I think he could do slightly better job helping out his right guard, but still climbing to the second level, able to get a body on a guy. He's not able to completely get across his face, but that's a tough ask for a center to do every single time, especially when the linebacker has the leverage advantage. Like, he's already to your play side, so it's going to be very tough to, cut off a linebacker. But he does a pretty good job at least squaring him up, containing that block. And since he had the block, like, was still a body on a body, Wright's able to bounce off it pretty easily, which ended up going for that long run down the sideline. But decent work by Meyer here. Here we get to see him really attack downhill, attack the low hip on 74, create that lateral movement, which is really nice, and then climb up to 53. Now, if this run actually hit up through here, it actually would have been perfect, because he was going to attack there and then boom, kick 53 out the other way. But since Wright was breaking this way, it kind of actually, probably helped it out, but he was already stuck in the backfield. But you can just see the flashing of potential in those types of scenarios. Also, just when Dolphins love to slide pass protection and, isolate to the backside, so the center will slide to where there's always help. But look at it, I love how, like, active he would be in pass protection, like, no initial threat. It's one-on-one here, one-on-one here, so he just goes and boom, help take this guy, wash him completely out of the play. You take control of the defensive tackle, and you can just see the lateral range that he can show. And then more movement skills out in space. The Dolphins, running their, like, G tight end, counter stuff with the reverse action. They flip out. Center leading out in space. You can see the athleticism here. Get your body on a defensive back. Want to see him sustain this a little bit longer, but he throws that guy off balance good enough to where Malik's able to make him miss. And it's just like how well that you can move out in space. Like, getting a body that far down the field as a center, very difficult. And Meyer has the athletic skill set to do that, and they think, the development is there. I think a reason they keep Meyer compared to someone like a Hayden Rucci on the main roster is because, one, they think they can get Rucci back just due to what type of player he is. But with Rucci, like, I feel like the highest ceiling you can see for Rucci is being like maybe a solid tight end 2 as a blocker. Like, he's never going to be like an elite pass catcher, number 1 tight end type. But I think with Meyer, you can see the skill set where, like, oh, I think he could be a starting center. Not saying he'll be like a top tier one, but like, he's one that could be developed into an actual starting level player if things go correctly. Or, at least, also could be just like a developmental depth backup player. But I feel like out of the UDFA guys, he's the one who has the chance to actually develop his skill set into something. Here we see more, range when sliding. I love the activeness in pass protection, going to look for work, not just blocking no one. He's helping guys out, taking shots. Very, very nice. Another, good work here, climbing up to the next level. He basically becomes like a defensive lineman on some of these reps, because he's just like, this play got messed up because look at the right guard. The right guard definitely thinks it's to the left here, outside zone to the left. But he like almost runs into this. They mess up this play. But look how still quickly Meyer climbs the second level, gets a body on the linebacker. Would like to see him maybe sustain a little bit longer, but he's still getting bodies on them very quickly. And this is improvement. I feel like he kind of didn't do a great job at this in the first game. But we get to see him get bodies on people contained for at least long enough. Here's the range and pass protection. He just doesn't, like, do nothing. Like, a lot of guys would just stay here, wait patiently to the inside. But once he sees this guy commit to the outside and he's going to win, Meyer hard commits to help to that. Like, really get him widened. I mean, he didn't need to because left guard did a decent job recovering. But it's just nice to see reps like that. Meyer continuously climbing to the second level, gets the right shoulder into his guy, try to help the right guard. Unfortunately, I think this will be better, with better guards next to him. He wants to maybe do a little better job helping these guys out, but he's at least like trying to slow them down. But Matthew Jones isn't the most athletic guy to cut off this defensive tackle, but Meyer's still getting to the second level quickly, body on the linebackers. Guys were like scared to get hands on him. Like, they kept like trying to spin out of it too. The rest of the play gets blown up, but if that gets to the second level, there was so much room to work with. And then Meyer in pass protection, I think I like the feet. I like his ability to reset the hands. He does a good job, I think, with his base technique. Like, hand placement overall is pretty decent. Sometimes I think his timing can be a little bit off with his hands, but he'll play with good bend, leverage, reset, bring your hips, feet back across with you. Anchor, I think the anchor is like the biggest thing that needs work, play strength wise, but that can, like play strength, usually most guys are just getting stronger because they're younger. They get a little bit of grown man strength. They're more in the weight room at the NFL level. That stuff can just come, like with just a little bit of work. It's not something you like just can't get better at, but you can't teach that athletic ability, that athletic profile. Then love the aggressiveness. The guy tries to hit the chop swim move over, and look how just Meyer gets into him so quickly. boom, throws off the timing of all that, hands in the chest, and just no chance of getting any involved at the middle. And look how much time Skyler has to go through his progression because of how quickly Meyer's able to jump set him and really throw off the timing. And then last play to look at here versus the Buccaneers, he's able to cut him off, hands on. You can see this time it's not him climbing to second level. So play side, a lot of these other plays, like if he's been head up or the guy's backside shade, he's been climbing to the second level, cutting off the linebacker. Here, it's outside zone. He has a 1 tech, so he is now the opposite here. This guy's trying to help him, which, I think the right guard does a better job here getting a body on, but look how quickly Meyer's able to get his hat across, and then they end up, he gets his hat across so fast it slows him down, and then he actually ends up tripping and falling into the other defensive linemen. So, good job with that work there from Meyer. Very impressed with him overall with the athletic ability. I'm glad he made the roster, and things will change. Just so people know, this roster, how it was set up, they only have 4 receivers. They cut a long snapper. Some people are probably going to go on IR. I wouldn't be surprised if, because now you can go on IR after the cut downs that they just did, and you don't have to be out for season, which is a good thing. But we get to see who ends up kind of, maybe an Anthony Walker Jr. or something goes on IR, and then Ferguson comes back. And then we'll see if they claimed anyone, because that could mean some people get moved around. But I think there's a reason they kept people like Meyer on the main roster over other certain players. And then there's other players they could have cut. Because if they didn't want to risk someone getting claimed, like an Ezu Kanma, they could have cut someone like a Meyer or a Cotton. But I don't think they wanted to risk Meyer to the waiver wire because of that skill set like I talked about. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And let's get down. Peace.